I'm B News producer Sydney Bowles, and this is another edition of our monthly series, our Town Administrator Update, where we check in with Town Administrator Paul Sagarino about all the important stuff going on in Town Hall. Paul, thank you as always for being here.
It's always a pleasure, Sydney.
All right, so we are mere hours off of town meeting. I feel like anytime I see you after town meeting, my immediate question has to be like, did you get enough coffee? Like, are you awake? Because I know personally I'm like hardly functional after these. They're marathons.
Yeah, it's pretty tiring the morning after.
Yeah.
You know, it's a long night. So, but you know, it was a great discussion and a lot of interesting debate, and I actually enjoy it very much.
Yeah. So let's talk about some of the important things that went through. We're speaking on Thursday morning, so we've had Monday and Wednesday town meeting. We're going to go again this coming Monday. So there's more to come, more to get through. But I think most people would agree that the big thing to come out of this town meeting was approval for funding for the Fox Hill Elementary School. This is just huge. Yeah,
it's a huge moment for the town. The project was very strongly supported by town meeting. Kudos to the school building committee for the Fox Hill. They did a great job with outreach to the community and getting the word out. They came up with a beautiful design. It's going to be a beautiful school. State bought into the plan, and everything came together. So I was really pleased to see that result for a new school. It's great to have, we need to continuously invest in the town and schools infrastructure for the future. So I'm really excited. I mean, so this is interesting. This is a school project, right? But it's a lot of money. It's the state is kicking in about $31 million. There's a couple additional million that is available through energy efficiency incentives and that kind of thing. And then if I have the numbers right, it's about $64 million that the town is responsible for. So as the town administrator, how do you start to think about, I mean, we talked about this with Ways and Means, right? There's going to be a bond, there's going to be some, like a ramp up of cost on taxpayers' bills. What do you start to do next from the town's perspective to turn this vote into a reality? The committee continues to meet. The architectural firm will firm up the design. The project will go out to bid. On the town hall side of things, we'll be having discussions with our bond counsel and our folks on bonding to try to plan out how we're going to borrow the money, when the money's needed, et cetera, and just continue to fine tune our long-term budgeting and planning now that we know that the project is a go.
Okay. I think another really interesting vote to come out of town meeting was a decision from town meeting to put a question to the voters on whether or not the town clerk position should be appointed or elected. Paul, forgive me for not knowing this. Were you on the town clerk committee? You weren't, were you?
I sat in on a few of the meetings. I wasn't a voting member.
Okay.
I participated in the beginning part of the discussion.
Okay. So the idea here is that town clerk Amy Warfield is looking to retire in the next couple of years, next year actually now, 2025, and it's not clear what the succession would be for her if, needing to find someone qualified in town who would run for election and win. So the vote at town meeting was not to say, yup, it's an appointed position now, it's to put that question to the voters who will then decide. Is that right?
That is correct. So this will go on the ballot in April. The town clerk committee, there were varying opinions that were expressed on that, elected, appointed, but all members of the committee thought that we should send it to the voters to make the decision. And leading up to that, hopefully there'll be an information campaign. I think that the committee did a great job of listing out the pros and cons of each path, and it would be interesting to see what the voters decide. We'll have to put some thought into, the different scenarios and outcomes that could happen. Amy retiring next year, the election being next year, we'll have to at least have a plan. If it goes appointed, this is what we're going to do. If it stays elected, here's the situation. So we'll be working all that stuff out in the next couple of months.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that struck me about the conversation was some concern or some question from town meeting about oversight for an appointed role. The town clerk is responsible for elections, right? There are a lot of elected officials who could potentially be impacted by that, and so the question is, who would supervise an appointed town clerk? And it seems like the answer is kind of you. I haven't heard you seem particularly worried about that. What's your thought about this? That change or that taking on that oversight role?
I'm like the manager. I use the players that the team gets for me, so I can handle it in either way. I've worked with two fantastic elected clerks, but also there's been a movement across the state to appoint clerks based upon qualifications as opposed to, who may win an election. So I'm comfortable with either direction. I have folks that I work with that report to other boards. I have department heads that report to me. And we'll get it done one way or the other. So I'm not particularly concerned about which direction the town votes on this one.
I guess you're a team no matter what, huh?
We're a team. We all get along. We all work together, no matter who reports to who. So it's a great thing about Burlington.
All right, I want to cast our minds back a little further than town meeting. This happened a few weeks ago now, and I think this is so cool. The select board actually voted to approve a pop-up micro gallery trailer. That's a selection, like a collection of words that I hadn't necessarily thought about going together. But the idea is it's like a mobile gallery art space that can be carted around town.
Yeah, it's great. One of our residents brought the idea to our economic development director, Melissa Tentakoulis, and it's really cool genesis of it. The resident indicated that when they were younger and growing up, their family didn't really have funds to attend museums and to be able to enjoy art. And she saw this as a way that we could provide, arts and culture to folks for free in the community. And it's a really cool trailer with sort of glass walls, and it can be moved around town. It can be, they intend upon programming it with different artists and locating it at different places in town. So the general public can just come by. It can be open or it can be closed, and the general public can enjoy the art that's within it. So I think it's a really cool project, and all of the things that are going on in the town with arts and culture and sculptures and all that good stuff is, people want to have arts and culture in the town, and I think it's great that so many of our community members are thinking with that hat on.
Yeah, I mean it's nifty, right? I mean this month, September, has been the return of the beer gardens, where it's just I attended one of them and it was just packed, and the excitement was really palpable, and you can feel what happens when you sort of get people together under the umbrella of live music, local,
Absolutely. A mural, everything, the pocket park, everything just sort of coming together down there, and it's the most popular thing that the town does, the beer gardens. I've never seen so many people having such a good time, families and dogs and great music, and it really is a wonderful time. And a mobile art trailer would just be another enhancement to the beer gardens. It can be set up for town day, and it can be used as a get out the vote trailer. It has a lot of uses, and we've been talking about that amongst departments. It's not just for art, a lot of different departments, whether it be recreation or the town clerk or really anybody. There's a lot of different purposes that a trailer like this could have. We were able to secure a grant for it, which makes it even better that we'll be able to pay for that with a grant and not taxpayer funds, Burlington taxpayer funds. So.
Absolutely. Town Administrator Paul Sagarino, tons of really exciting stuff going on. Thank you as always for taking a second to chat with me about it, and I look forward to talking again next month.
Thanks for having me, Sydney.
All right, and this was another episode of our Town Administrator Update. Thanks for tuning in.